Once upon a time, in a serene village nestled amidst lush green mountains, there lived a young and curious villager named Koji. Despite his cheerful disposition, Koji carried a burden that weighed heavily on his heart: fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of rejection. These fears clung to him like shadows, limiting his potential and holding him back from exploring life's wonders. One day, Koji heard rumors about a wise old sage who resided atop the highest peak in the mountains. They said this sage possessed profound wisdom and had the power to help people conquer their fears. Filled with hope, Koji embarked on a journey to meet the sage and rid himself of the suffocating grasp of fear. The path to the summit was arduous, with steep inclines and treacherous trails. Koji's legs trembled, and his heart pounded in his chest as he ascended. Doubts crept into his mind, whispering that he was not strong enough to face his fears. But with each step, Koji remembered his determination to find the sage, and he pressed on. Finally, after days of ardent effort, Koji reached the peak. There, under a majestic cherry blossom tree, sat the wise sage, who greeted him with a serene smile. "Welcome, young traveler," the sage said, his voice as gentle as the breeze. "I sense that you carry a heavy burden. Tell me, what brings you to this sacred place?" Tears welled in Koji's eyes as he poured out his heart, sharing the weight of his fears and how they held him back from living a full and meaningful life. The sage listened patiently, his eyes filled with compassion. Then, he spoke softly. "Fear is a natural part of being human, my dear Koji. It reminds us of our vulnerability and our capacity to care deeply. But it should not govern our lives. To overcome fear, you must confront it directly." Perplexed, Koji asked, "How can I confront my fears when they seem so overwhelming?" The sage smiled and replied, "Close your eyes, Koji, and imagine the fears as clouds passing through the vast sky of your consciousness. Observe them without judgment, letting them drift by like passing birds. See that, just as clouds are temporary and ever-changing, so are your fears. Embrace them with compassion, acknowledging their presence, but do not cling to them." Koji followed the sage's guidance and closed his eyes. He allowed his fears to arise and witnessed them as fleeting clouds in his mind. As he observed, he realized that his fears were not as solid as he had thought. They were mere thoughts, transient and impermanent. A sense of liberation washed over Koji, and he felt a newfound strength. The sage's words had opened his eyes to the nature of fear, and he understood that he held the power to release its grip on him. Upon opening his eyes, Koji expressed his gratitude to the sage and descended from the peak with a light heart. He embraced his fears with acceptance and kindness, no longer seeking to fight or suppress them. With each passing day, his fears lost their dominance, and he began to embrace life fully, unburdened by the shackles of anxiety. From that day forward, Koji became known as the Fearless Wanderer. He lived with courage and inner peace, inspiring others to confront their fears with the same wisdom and compassion he had discovered on the mountain peak. And so, the village flourished with the newfound wisdom of embracing fear, for they had learned that true fearlessness does not mean the absence of fear but rather the courage to face it with an open heart and a peaceful mind.